Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our presentation on the House and Temple of the Vestal Virgins. That's right, you, Sowis, you are considering purchasing this wonderful collection of Temple and House of the Vestal Virgins. Here's why you should get it. One reason why the Temple and House of the Vestal Virgins is a great addition to the city of Rome is that the fire will always be burning. It'll always be lit! And because of that, there will be good fortune to the city. The Romans believed that the sacred fire of Vesta was closely related to the fortunes, and if it were to ever burn out, the fall of Rome would follow the extinguishing. I mean, if that doesn't sell you, I don't know what will. Just kidding. There's plenty more reasons why the Temple and House of Vesta is the most awesome addition to the Rome area. Now, I ask that you please consider this following interview featuring Ben, one of the most honest Roman citizens.
Have you ever heard of the Temple and House of the Vestal Virgins?
Why, yes, of course I have.
Do you think that the Temple and House of the Vestal Virgins is pretty cool?
By golly, who do you think I am? Of course the Temple and House of the Vestal Virgins is cool.
If given the opportunity, would you travel to Rome just to see the Temple and House of the Vestal Virgins?
Is that even a question? I certainly would.
Would it make you angry if anything else was built other than the Temple and House of the Vestal Virgins?
Yes, if a different monument were to be built, I would riot and overthrow Sowis.
Wow, no way! Thank you for the very honest opinion, Ben. We hear you loud and clear, and as a matter of fact, I think Sowis, you should hear him too. Because I hear he says he would riot and rebel if the House and Temple of the Vestal Virgins isn't selected. I don't know, I just trust Ben's opinion, and I feel like many other Roman citizens would think the same. And so, to correct any doubts, we've got some more facts about the coolest monument ever. The complex of the House and Temple was actually rebuilt many times. Its various destructions, such as the fire of 64 CE, caused it to have to be rebuilt. From the eroded ruins and rubble that remain in the place that was once the Temple and House of the Vestal Virgins, we can determine that it was built of mostly white and partly party-colored marble. Most of it's built of brick. A notable feature about the construction is that, contrary to other buildings, it was built circularly, and it was symbolizing the heavens with a circular footprint on the earth. It was also facing the east because it was meant to enhance the connection between Vesta's fire and the sun. In the house, it's 3 stories tall, has 50 rooms, and is much like a palace. There were actually 20 Corinthian-style columns leading up to the circular base. It was on an elevated platform, and it had many ornate decorations and paintings in the inside, along with statues of the original Vestal Virgins outside of the house. It was initially built to honor the Roman goddess Vesta, goddess of the hearth and home. The Roman Emperor Numa Pompilius built it, and it was originally built in the 3rd century BC. It was later on restored after many fires, around 191 AD. Like what was previously stated, the Vestal Virgins, priestesses of the goddess Vesta, attend to keep the fire lit. And since it was a great sacrifice, it was important to keep the fire lit, and it led to good fortune. The whole complex of the House and Temple was located to the east of the Roman Forum, and was facing east, like previously stated, to connect the sun and the fire of Vesta. The complex is located between the Regia and the Palatine Hill. Overall, the complex of the House and the Temple of the Vestal Virgins was a very unique and elaborate Roman monument.